Go. Action.
Welcome to another episode of JustOneFern.
Action. Cut. Redo.
Redo it.
Cut. Take 17.
Welcome to another episode of JustOneFern. We got a great episode for you today. Later on, we have Gabe Baker on. Amazing interview with him. Lucas and I, we were kind of shocked by just how incredible all the things he's done. It's like he's such a multifaceted guy. And it's a must-listen to interview. Thank you, Gabe, for coming on. We really appreciate it. It was an amazing time talking with him. But Lucas, there's been so much going on this week. I feel like there's been a lot of stuff in the media. There's been stuff that we're doing. I actually am starting. So with the whole process of us kind of shifting, why are you laughing?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why I'm laughing. I think you're a funny guy.
What did I say?
Nothing. I must have thought of something, and then I got excited, and then you broke my concentration. Which fuck you.
Oh, so you're upset with me because you were laughing in your own little world, like you goddamn bastard for pulling me back to reality.
No. I think I was laughing because I'm excited for what I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna talk about. You got a new thing.
I do have a new thing. So this is I'm starting a video series since I'm alone in the city, and it'll be called
Ladies, He's Lonely.
And that's exactly what it is. And it's just gonna be me going around Nashville doing new stuff, like trying a bunch of things. And today was the first day of filming that, and it was amazing. I went to the Nashville SC soccer game. I'm wearing my jersey. I'm a big soccer fan, as our listeners probably know because we've talked about it. Game was amazing. They won 2-0. So
big numbers.
They destroyed them.
Hat trick.
No, that's 3 goals. That's 3 goals by one person. So
that's the one term I know. Turkey.
You have your terms pulled up right now on Wikipedia. Yeah. Soccer terms to talk about this.
What an amazing performance by.
You have the roster ready to go. Just okay. This looks like that guy seems like he would play. But yeah, it was an amazing time. I filmed a lot of things that were going on. I tried to be funny. I think sometimes it was, sometimes it definitely wasn't. But we'll see. But it'll be fun. I hope you guys are excited for that. Just make sure to keep your eye out on the YouTube for that. That'll be going out on the JustOneFern YouTube. But yeah, it was very strange because I've never been a part of a game like that before, like a soccer game, a professional soccer game. I've never been to one.
That was your first time?
I went to one in New York, but it was really it was boring. It was like no one was around. It wasn't good. But this one, these fans are insane. They are crazy people, and they were going absolutely bonkers. Both goals, I've never heard people yell at refs more. And I'm from Syracuse, so I've been to SU games where we just absolutely scream our heads off, and they had less people in the stadium and just screamed more than in the dome. It was insane.
Over soccer,
yeah.
It's so, I don't know why soccer seems so silly to me, because I'm a dumb American, and I don't know.
Well, it's funny. I've realized that the reason soccer, I think, is a better sport to attend than most any other sport is because goals are so rare.
Oh, so the whole time you're like, oh,
yeah. So when it happens, it's just the greatest thing in the world. No celebration, because a touchdown, you celebrate that. That's the closest thing, I guess. Or in hockey, because goals are pretty rare in hockey as well.
Hockey's really fun to go to.
Yeah,
I love a hockey game.
Yeah, and I feel like soccer is very similar to that in terms of just the anticipation that you have throughout the whole game.
It's much more engaged, I think, than most other sports.
You have to be watching it at all times. And it's great. Whereas baseball is more of I feel like if you're going, you could just go to hang out with your friends. You don't have to be watching the game the whole time, or, but soccer's kind of well, I need to be paying attention because it could happen at any moment. And if I miss it, there's probably not going to be another one for a long time. So you got to be ready.
If I miss it, I'm gonna hate myself.
Yeah, I'm just going to be so goddamn mad.
But you sent me a video. So you really were alone. COVID has made it so there was nobody around you, right?
There was so the closest people to me, I had these two guys were sitting like 3 rows ahead of me, and then 3 rows behind me there were another like group of 4 people. And there was still a lot of people in the stadium. There was like 12,000 people there, but they were
Really?
just all spread out. Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
crazy.
I was very isolated and like by myself. But I was right on the first level, so it was great seats.
Oh shit, nice. Did you talk to did you talk to anybody?
I didn't really talk to anyone. I did like when we celebrated, like people like ran up and like high-fived each other, but like
Oh really?
but that was about it.
Did
Yeah.
did they run up to you? And
Yeah, some
high-five
people
you?
high-fived me. Well, I mean, people could tell that I was alone. Like I was like I was like talking into my phone so many times, like trying to get videos and like filming everything. Like people were like, "What is this guy?"
Did you get any looks?
doing?
Were you getting? Was it like?
I
Did
didn't
you feel
I
awkward?
definitely felt awkward. Yeah, definitely felt awkward. But those fans were so crazy and focused on the game. I don't think they really cared. But yeah, there was this moment. I think that you were gonna say that I was alone, and the song "Thunderstruck" came on.
Yeah.
And there's a drinking game called Thunder Drunk, where every time it says thunder, you have to like if you're with a group of people, you stand in a circle and like you pass it on every time it says thunder, and you have to keep drinking until it says thunder again. But it was just me, so like
you're like, all right, who's first? And it's just you, and then you're like, okay, and you
Right,
start
it's me.
going, and you
then it
finish.
stops like, oh, who's next? Who's the next person?
ladies, he is lonely.
He is lonely. So
You were
yeah,
a little bit less lonely though. You got a high five in.
I got a high
That's
five.
nice.
I got 2 because there were 2 goals.
That you must have gotten high off of that physical touch.
I hate you so much. Yeah, I did. I really did. It was a great time. I had way more fun than I could have imagined having. So I'm glad that I went.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
When I come down, we should go see a game or something.
Yes, we should, and we can hopefully have someone to come and film us while we're there because that'd be. I really wanted. I didn't get the chance to. I wanted to interview the mascot because he
that'd have been great.
can't talk. So I wanted to go up and be like, "Hey, you think we're gonna win today?" And he would probably just like nod, and then be like, "Do you think we're better than the Titans, who is the stadium that we're playing at?" And he'd probably like do something really like. I don't want to say that.
And what's your opinion on foreign politics?
Yeah, what's your zip code? Actually, I want to like. Where can I send you a letter because I have a lot of things. To talk about.
Actually, I need a ride home.
Do you?
Do you think you could give me a lift?
I love that foreign politics. Like what's your favorite country? Like, where do you want to go? But yeah,
What do you think about the Secretary of Defense's new statement on Palestine?
That would be so funny.
Just interviewing the wrong people about the wrong thing.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, Nashville's great in terms of like the people that are here. They are really in love with the city, and I think that that's really cool to see. And I definitely saw that at the game.
Cool.
Yeah. But what's been? I know you went to see.
I also, I have also been enjoying the looser restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
I went to see probably not only the most acclaimed, but also the most anticipated movie of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
That being, of course, let's say it with me, everybody, Kong versus Godzilla.
Kong versus Godzilla. I was gonna say it. I was thinking the exact same thing.
I swear to God, Aaron, I loved this movie.
Really? Okay, so
I
you
loved it.
Wow.
I loved the last Godzilla movie. I didn't end up seeing Kong. I loved the Godzilla movie before that. Aaron, it's just pure unadulterated like bad movie goodness, but action like
it's
like
just
a
an
giant
action,
lizard
big monster movie. That's what it is.
in Hong Kong punching the shit out of an ape, grabbing him by his furry head and shoving him through buildings. Like that's sick. How is that not the coolest thing you've ever seen?
That is pretty cool. Yeah.
And they know
especially
it. And
with
they
the
know
graphics now. Like it's crazy. Whereas like they used to use like puppets. Like
yeah. It was
Literal
it was men
wax,
in
like claymation
suits.
figures. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hate those movies, by the way, because
they're
they were also
hilarious.
really gimmicky. Yeah,
Yeah. Especially because there would be like the word, like English words over them speaking Japanese, like the old Godzilla movies, is just so funny.
yeah.
Absolutely hilarious.
Oh no, it's Godzilla.
Yeah. It's like, what did they do? Like, why didn't they just leave it as? Why didn't they just put in subtitles and then leave it as the
Yeah,
Japanese?
they should have just
words?
left the Japanese. They should have just left the Japanese.
So funny.
But you know what's great is in this movie,
Mm-hmm.
Kong learns to talk. He's sign language.
Oh, I thought he was
And-
learning to actually speak.
Kong no like Godzilla. No. And he has this little like island girl, like who is deaf for some reason. We don't know why.
Okay.
And she's the only one who can talk to him because she knows sign language because she's deaf. She teaches him. And she's his translator. So it's Big Kong, this little tiny girl,
Mm-hmm.
and her adopted mother. And there's this weird thing going on where like, why? Like, why does Kong need to talk?
Yeah. I have no idea.
I think that's hilarious.
That is very funny that he's like they're trying to make him a more relatable character, you know? Like,
Kong no want to fight Godzilla.
it's all
By the way, I'm gonna keep saying Gojira because that's how Gojira.
Godzilla.
That's how you pronounce it. Godzilla is it's like
What if
Gojira.
like what if it was like the horrible movie, which is Batman vs Superman, where they both go and Kong's like, my mom's name is this, and Godzilla's like, oh, me too, and then they kill all the humans. They just like, let's kill all them together. Come on, that would. Be
But it was
amazing.
sick. They did have to team up in the end, and they had to fight Robot Godzilla.
Robot Godzilla.
Yeah, the humans got scared of Godzilla, so they made their own.
That makes sense.
And he was
That sounds like something
badass.
humans would do.
And he got out of control, so
You can't
they
trust
destroyed
robots,
the city.
but you can trust real lizards. That's for sure.
So what else is going on this week? What's big in the news?
You know, the biggest thing in the news right now. I know you're not a huge sports guy, and we've talked a lot about sports this episode.
I'm huge in sports.
You're the biggest sports guy actually that I've ever met.
I'm a broadcaster. Catch me on ESPN Monday night 7 p.m.
You work the ESPN like D3 soccer school. Like that's what you do. You go talk to the kids that like are just mainly in
What do you
finance,
do?
and that's it. I'm like, yeah, I play soccer on the side. But yeah, so there's a huge fight coming up, which is Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather. Now,
Oh, yep.
Logan Paul and Jake Paul are two YouTubers who people despise. Like they hate these guys so much. And
As they should.
they're kind of the worst. But they're now boxers, both of them. They're both fighters.
They're both boxers now?
Yes, they are both boxers.
All right.
I don't
You know what? I'm excited to see
They're kind of
them
brilliant
get beat
though,
up.
because the way that they make money off this is absolutely crazy. Like I don't know.
What are they doing?
Well, just their ability and their knowledge of how to work the internet and like get people excited for a fight, and like they're just really good at it.
Well, you saw what he did with the hat.
Yes. So that's what I wanted to say is like, so Jake Paul, who's not the one fighting in the fight, by the way, this is Logan's brother.
Oh, the brother did this.
Yeah, the brother did
Oh, why is he talking for his?
Because he is way worse than Logan. Jake is like the little brother that just
The annoying little brother.
Yeah, he's a pain in the
Yeah.
ass. So they were like, because Jake also wants to fight Floyd. And so they're like, they're beefing or whatever. They're getting in each other's face. The cameras and all around them, all the commentators are there, like reporters trying to get a statement, whatever. And they're getting in each other's face. And Jake Paul just goes, "Got your hat." And he grabs the hat off of Floyd Mayweather's head and tries to run away, but he like runs smack
Just
into
runs
cameras
right into
behind
the
him.
camera.
Yeah. And then like
And
is trying
Floyd's
to
like-
grab him. Yeah. Floyd like grabs his shirt and is like pulling him back. It was so funny. It's probably the most childish thing that I've ever seen. Like that is such a you're on this
That's some
playground in
younger
second
brother
grade.
shit.
Yeah. and someone made you really mad, and you're like, I'm gonna take his hat. I'm not gonna give it back. And that's exactly what Jake Paul did.
And I
So
had to
funny.
piss him off so much.
Yeah.
That would piss anybody off.
Well, that's the thing, because you're immediately brought back to your childhood where that was the number one thing that
Yep.
you like. If that happened to you, you were so mad. So
You're like, oh fuck no.
yeah, as much as these grown men are still children, like it brought them back to even more childish ways, because that's
I think there's one person who could get away with that, and that would be a really, really, it'd be a supermodel. If a supermodel came up to you and she went, ha ha ha, got your hat, you'd be like, yeah, you do. Can you spit in it or something? please? Just sweating it. That's all I need.
Could you wear it for a minute? No, I think that anyone that takes a hat off of someone's head, especially my head, like if someone takes a hat off my head, I will lose my mind, because like the reason I wear a hat, Lucas, is because my hair doesn't look good. Like if I think my hair doesn't look good, I will be wearing a hat.
Well, you're wearing a hat right now.
Yeah, because I wore a hat.
Let's see the hair, Aaron. Let's see the hair.
Because
people want to know.
I wore a
Take
hat
it
to
off.
the game.
Yep. Yeah, in the back.
Do we see?
In the back.
Everyone, are you happy now?
Yeah. The front looks good. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. I don't have my headphones on.
The front looks good.
Well, thank you.
But you got that little doobly-doo in the back there.
Yeah, that's always been an issue for me.
I get it. I have to. That's why I have to shower in the morning, because
Me too.
I can't go to work like that.
Me too.
You know?
Yeah, I don't think I could. I rarely shower at night because when I wake up,
It's so dark, like you can't see
I-
what you're doing.
I hate that I live in a place with no electricity. It's really tough.
And I'm paying like $2,000 a month to live here. It's not fair.
If you had to like go into the future, like 500 years or like back 500 years, which one would you rather do?
Oh my God, forward.
Really?
Yes. Because everything I like doesn't exist 500 years ago. But it will still exist in 500 years. Do you know what I mean?
Not that you don't know. What if the world isn't like, it's just in utter chaos when you drop in, boom, 500 years from now, almost everyone's gone. Like nobody's even here.
So I'm the only person alive.
Oh, maybe. But if you go back, you're not.
Okay, so I'm taking that chance.
But if you go back 500 years, like you would be dropped into North America.
Would it be here?
Where there is no settlements.
Oh,
yet.
I'm dead. I'm dead if that happens.
Just Native Americans. That's it.
I would go up. I'd be like, Dances with Wolves. You guys seen that? Can we do that,
you
please?
Bring a copy of Dances with Wolves. Hey, do you know where we could watch this?
It's Blu-ray, so you have to have the Blu-ray player. I don't know. I have batteries for the remote.
Do you have an Xbox? It works in that too. It works in an Xbox.
PlayStation 2s actually. I don't know. You guys already have. You guys have those. Right?
You must have
long
that.
enough.
Don't tell me you just have PlayStation 1, because I can't deal with that.
I didn't think I went back that far. Did I go back that far?
Like, what would be the worst time period to end up in, though? Like in the past, if you were like to go in a time machine and you didn't know where you were going to end up, what would be the worst
of human history?
Of human history, yeah.
The worst.
Mm-hmm.
Here, would it be here where I am now?
Yeah, let's say you get dropped right where you are right now
in North America.
Yeah.
I just think the further back you go, like the furthest back would probably be the worst. The less technology.
Yeah, I guess so. Because you'd have to like build something for shelter immediately.
Right, I'd be just stranded.
Yeah,
it'd be like going to another world by yourself, with nobody there.
Yeah, it would basically be like all those utopian movies and novels, like just the ones where there's just the outskirts of like there's the main city and then there's like wilderness, like the Hunger Games kind of, where it's just like no one's around, like very strange.
Yeah. What would you rather go back in time 500 years or the future?
I was going to say I'd rather go back in time just to see what it's about, but I guess it would depend if it was go back in time and stay there, forever, like I live there,
Oh.
or go back in time and come back.
If I get to come back, I'm definitely doing the future. Easy.
Really? So you want to see what happens?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'll invest or something. I don't know. Buy a
True, that is
sports
smart.
almanac.
That's smart. You could be very rich, but we all
Yep.
know what happened in the movie.
Fucking Biff.
Biff, man.
Classic Biff.
I
am Biff.
Can we just?
This is me. I'm Biff.
That was so bad. That was the worst Biff I've ever seen in my life. That was terrible. But those movies, the Back to the Future trilogy, is definitely on my top 5 like movie franchises.
I'll give you that. I think the third one is not good,
It's not that great. No,
but 1 and 2 are amazing.
they're so good.
Okay, I'm with you there.
Yeah, I just think but like
That the King Kong movie that just happened.
King Kong movies.
What's your other 3?
I love how you like put that on my list. Like,
Yeah, well, of course, it should be on everybody's list.
I haven't seen the new movie, so I'll have to watch it.
Aaron,
I feel like it's something that I have to see in theaters, though.
yeah, that's why I went to the theaters. I'm like, if I'm going to the theaters, I'm gonna see fucking King Kong versus Godzilla.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It is intense. It is an intense movie. Highly recommend.
Okay. I'll definitely.
There's a lot of memes about it. Did you see that?
I saw a few. Yeah, I haven't seen a
It's
ton
like-
of them though.
Monkey lizard. But that doesn't. It's bad. That doesn't compare to one of my new favorite memes. Have you seen the DaBaby memes?
I have not seen the DaBaby memes.
I'm in your messenger. I'm gonna drop
Okay.
drop you a DaBaby meme.
Drop me a line.
Oh, that's not how you do that. Okay. Save. Why did I gotta do it on my phone. I'm sorry. Because you can just share things on your phone. I guess you can't on the computer. There you go,
Yeah.
Aaron. I just sent it to you.
Okay. I'm waiting. I just got it.
Did you see this?
No, I didn't see that. Yucky. Comes to play. This is very, very funny.
Isn't that great? Like, why? Why? But I found a bunch of things that I think explain it. I'm trying to make sense of it in my head. I
Okay.
just sent you a pack of DaBaby memes.
A pack of them. Oh my god.
So he once said a lyric, "I will turn blank into a convertible." I'm not gonna say the word.
Mm-hmm.
So they turned him into a convertible, and he just is a car now.
All of these
just-
memes, he's a car.
They turned him into a car. Yeah, for whatever reason, he is a car,
That's
and
so funny.
like there's him in Mario Kart as DaBaby car. I would go to school if DaBaby was my bus. Like
These are good. These are so
I
good.
love it. I love it. It's my new favorite. It's like it doesn't make any sense, and that's
That
why
doesn't
I like
make
it.
any sense. Well, you know what else doesn't make sense? And I sent this one to you. The Mike's Hard Hummus.
I want that bad. I think I'd like
I have
it.
to try it.
It's 5%, but what the hell does that mean?
It's not real, by the way, for everyone listening. Sadly,
Oh.
it's not real.
Why did I think it was real? I didn't even think
'Cause-
about it. I'm like, yep, probably.
I mean,
Probably exists.
it might be. It's kind of like those pizza seltzers that Bud Light was gonna do. Where
I
they had
really
put them out,
wanted that.
I would
I
have tried
really
them.
wanted that.
I would have tried them 100%. Like even the anchovies one, I would have had it because I can't miss out on that. What if I like it?
Did you have Crystal Pepsi?
Yeah, I did.
What'd you think?
It was okay.
Was it different to you?
No, not really.
It was the same thing, but
Yeah.
it was clear. So it was well,
It must be the
It's
same
clear.
as water.
it is good for me.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
tried.
No
I
artificial
tried
coloring.
saving one and keeping it in my fridge,
Mhm.
and my dad threw it out. I was
wanna
gonna
see it.
save it and sell it when I'm like 65,
Yeah.
and they're like, because the people do that now from the '90s. They make money,
Mm-hmm.
but my dad threw it out because because he's
And that's why
good.
you got him that Popeye sandwich and threw it on the ground because he threw out.
I
your-
did. Did I talk about that?
That was on the
Yeah.
pod. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt really bad about that still.
I felt terrible.
I put my boots on and yeah. But you know what? That's we're even. We are even now on that.
That's good. But yeah, this Mike's Hard Lemonade hummus. Mike's Hard hummus would
I
be
would-
so dangerous because I love hummus so much. And if it had alcohol in it, I would be plastered in 2 seconds.
I'd eat the whole thing. I would eat the whole
wouldn't
thing,
yeah.
and I would pass out and die.
Me too.
So what would happen?
I would pass out and die. Like that was, so we went to zero.
No problem.
From 0
No
to
problem.
100 real
I would
fast.
die. No problem. Not even a problem, Aaron. Aaron, not even a problem.
Hey, are you okay? I feel like this is
Aaron,
yeah.
I would eat. I would eat the.
Oh my god. I
would
don't
eat
know.
the hummus.
I don't know if you're actually listening to me,
Aaron,
but I would eat the hummus.
Aaron, look into the camera, and I will look into your eyes, and that way it'll seem like neither of us are really looking at each other.
Okay.
But I would eat the I would eat the hummus, and I would die
But you got to eat the hummus with chips if you're going to eat a lot of it, in my opinion.
with a beer, with a beer,
You
with a
having a-
beer bottle.
Oh.
and I'm sticking and I'm crunching the glass in my mouth. If you're gonna eat it, you gotta eat it right, Aaron.
You are a psychopath. I want you to know. You are an insane person. But I think if this was real, and like I said, with the pizza seltzers thing, if I didn't
Yep.
try it, I'd be furious with myself. Like if
Yeah,
this
no, I'd have
becomes
to
to be
have
a
it.
thing, I would buy it 100%.
Are they serious about it,
No,
or is it just a joke?
no. I think someone like photoshopped it and made it.
Well, that's bullshit.
I know. How dare they get my hopes up like that?
We should make it. We do when I come down. Let's blend up some pizza, and we'll carbonate it, and we'll put some of that Mike's Hard hummus in there for the alcohol.
Okay.
Would you eat that?
Just one Fern
Would you
hummus.
if I made you? Would you eat that?
No. Yours?
No.
I
What?
I don't trust you.
My
making it.
what?
I don't trust you making it.
What if I made it with you, like you
Okay,
saw?
then yeah, sure.
Why? What do you think I'd put in it? Poison. I'm gonna kill him.
Well, you just said you're gonna eat it and die, so maybe it's like I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah,
I'm gonna-
maybe. He's gonna die with me. That'll feel good. I'm gonna.
That's so bad. Holy shit.
Aaron, I want to make some sort of bet, and I'm telling you right now,
Mhm.
I'm gonna somehow, I don't know why I'm thinking about this. I'm gonna make a bet with you, and you're gonna lose, and you're gonna have to get your ear pierced. I don't know why, but I'm thinking about that right now.
Here's the bet, Lucas. We need to tell the listeners about this anyway. We have a very big event coming up. 2 big events.
Yes.
But there's one specifically that we can bet on that has to do with an online game of chess.
Oh, Aaron. Yeah? You
Lu-
want to bet on this?
Lucas and I, our amazing editor, Kenny, he is having...
Kenny Holler, shout out for Kenny Holler.
Shout out Kenny Holler. He is going to be doing another tournament that Lucas lost the last one, by the way. He will be doing another chess tournament, and he asked Lucas and I to be like commentators for it. And he also asked if we wanted to do a game against each other. And we said, well, obviously, because that's incredible. So
I'm so in.
Lucas, what is the bet here? Because I think I can kick your ass.
In chess?
Yeah, I really do.
So it's like whoever wins. The loser has to do blah blah blah.
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm assuming.
Well, it'd be
you won't
weird
do
if we
ear
did it the
pierce.
opposite way. Like if you win, then you have to do the worst thing.
Well, that'd be a fun game of just trying.
True,
to
where we're
lose.
both doing absolutely horrible.
That'd be funny. So maybe the pizza thing. The loser has to blend up 2 slices of pizza and drink it like a smoothie.
That's atrocious. I would rather do that than my ears pierced, though.
That's what I'm saying. Because I really do not want to get my ear pierced.
I was gonna say,
Like,
you scared
so
now?
badly
You're
do not
scared
wanna get
now
my ear
because you
pierced.
don't. Or we could have a slap bet, even though we never see each other. We could do a slap bet.
Oh. Oh, I don't want to do this. Aaron, you are
I would
you are
take you
full
out.
half a foot
I
taller
would
than me.
take you out with my
You would
hand.
take I would die. And I'm also like really scared of getting slapped and getting cuffed in the ear.
Hmm.
Cuz that fucks up your hearing like for
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. I would never hit your. I would like palm your head. I would just do like the cheek. Just. Pow.
Right. I don't want it. Aaron, I will do a slap bet. If that's what you want,
Well,
I will
here,
do that.
let's do the pizza thing then.
Pizza thing. Okay.
Blend up
Blend
two
up 2
slices of
slices
pizza and you have to drink it
on the next
on the next
pod
pod after the. Yeah, that's an
Okay.
amazing thing. Let's do it.
I'm in.
Alrighty. So that is all that we have for today. We have our so keep an eye out for that. Our live show, we moved it to May 24th. So that's in 2 weeks. So be on the lookout for that. It's going to be a great show. And we're going to send it over to our interview now. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week. All right, guys. So today we have Gabe Baker on. I'm very excited to have you here, man. You might know him probably from his music. You were on The Bachelor. What was it? A Bachelor
music spinoff show.
music
It's
spinoff
called
show.
Listen to Your Heart.
Listen to Your Heart. Yeah. And
Very cool.
and you also are a fitness trainer as well. So you're all over the place. You were a football player. You got so many different things that you're doing. We actually met at a little gathering in October. So how have you been since then? How are things going for you? You've been releasing music, which is amazing. How have things been?
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. And I was trying to remember what event was that we met at?
It was the
the
Dreamers party.
the Dinners for Dreamers thing.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, cool. Yeah, those are always a lot of fun. All has been well. I mean, I've been in Nashville coming on 9 months now,
Nice.
and it continues to be just a really beautiful adventure. I mean, my life. We may dive into it, but my life is completely different being here than it was
Yeah.
before I moved up. And I've been releasing on music, just been gigging around a lot. I just got back from a gig, and so my voice is a little raspy. But yeah, just playing around, having fun, and yeah, I released my latest single at the beginning of April, and hopefully we'll have a couple more singles to come out before the year's over.
Nice. That's awesome, man. And
Awesome.
Yeah.
I guess let's talk about it then. Let's dive right into it. Your movement through life has led you to this point where you're in Nashville. And how did you go from like playing football like in college to now you're doing music? Like what was that journey? How did you start that? What made you, play football and then change to something else? Like what was that about?
Did you always do music? Like how did you make that decision? Yeah.
I've always been musical. I grew up in a musical family, and I appreciate the question because I'm like, whenever I get asked that, I was like, okay, what angle should I answer it? To what length do
Yeah.
I? So, like, it all started with my grandfather back in 1925. Right?
Yeah.
No, right. So, yeah, I grew up in a musical family. Both my parents are great musicians themselves. Both can sing. My mom played a couple of instruments, violin and piano, and then my siblings are also musical. My older brother and eldest sister. And so we all kind of got in the string instrument realm together
Nice.
in elementary school. I picked up the cello in the 4th grade, and that was kind of my first entrance into the music side of things. But yes, I've always been musical, and I was grateful to have been able to, find a good balance and felt confirmed, like validated to do it by doing music and also sports at the same time. So I was, playing cello and doing
Nice.
sports and doing all those things. It was a cool journey with it. And again, I went the more sports focused route. Yeah, I played college football, and when I got to college, I didn't do so much of playing the cello much at all. I played enough to where I was known as the football playing cellist.
Yeah.
Which is really cool, right? It stand out a little bit, and it literally wasn't. And then my brother went to school for music, so he's focused on that route. He's a great musician himself, and we started collaborating, do a little kind of brother sibling duo. We were working on that for a little while, and a lot happened within kind of the realm of like 2018 through beginning of 2020, in a sense, in terms of just a lot of different things that pushed me to the place of like, let me shift into music.
Nice.
And I'll say high level things, but I think we're going to talk about the Bachelor show. But I really honestly credit that experience and a great way for giving me like a network of relationships and just an experience that gave me the validation to be like, oh, I need to maybe not just make this a hobby, and give it a career effort for once, and that's what shifted. And so it was literally right after the show, got into that mindset, pandemic hit.
Good.
I was working virtually and I was like, all right, well, I have a lot of time to do music now.
Yeah.
And, and then I moved to Nashville over the summer, from Houston.
Wow.
So, that's a bit of a short end explanation of the shift, but kind of long time coming in the music realm, family influences, and now I'm diving head first. I'm swimming in it.
That's amazing. And so I have to ask you this question because I wonder a lot what kind of your high school life was like when, music and sports are usually kept separate and usually you kind of have to pick one or the other. Did you go to a school that you were able to do both? Like you were able to,
Troy Bolton.
Troy Bolton style.
Trey Bolton style. That's right. That's funny. I guess that's a good comparison because I guess that was my experience. It's funny. I feel slightly ashamed, but okay with admitting this. But I actually haven't watched High School Musical, but I'm familiar with Trey Bolton enough.
You're gonna kill Aaron.
You're gonna kill
me.
So
I'm sorry.
It's
so
okay.
Sorry.
It's funny. I have a jersey like from that movie. Like it's
respect.
Big, big High School Musical fan when I was a kid and
That's
still now. What was it? Were you able to do cello and also perform in different? Did you do stage productions, or is it just like cello and football? Was that like your two main things?
It was mainly just orchestra, cello, and I played football, basketball, and I ran track as well. So it was like it was a combination of things through high school. When high school was, and again, I when I tell people this experience of mine, I really do give much credit to just being in a really honestly supportive environment with coaches, my orchestra director, and just a great cohort of like friends and then my family that was like, oh yeah, that is, because when you think about it, I'm sure you guys could relate, like when you're younger and then you're going elementary, middle school, high school, of course, a lot of what you commit to doing has much to do with like you feeling accepted with doing it. Right.
Yeah.
And you may enjoy it, but then a lot of times you can choose, you're young and you're impressionable. So you may elect not to do something just because either your friends, like your core group of friends or whatever that is, they just, they accept it or don't accept it. But I was in a space to where I was able to feel validated to curate both of those skills. And then, I was excelling in both areas. And so my coaches and teachers on both sides were like, they trusted that I could do both because, there's conflict schedules and, I'm coming straight from football practice and got to put my clip on bow tie to my orchestra concert.
Those clip-on bow ties were important. Like that's like a staple of performing.
That's right.
That's
exactly right.
Like, no one ever learned how to actually tie a bow tie. It was always the clip-on.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah,
it's too much. I looked it up once. I got my brain started. I got a headache, so I stopped.
Yeah, it's a good skill to have. I don't have it either, so I don't blame you.
Well, I'm glad we're all in the same boat.
We are. Yeah. So it was one of those things of like really being. Yeah, I look back and I'm like, oh wow, I'm so grateful that I was in a space to where, I had the opportunity to do both. Because I actually, I talked to a friend, and she was like, yeah, my coaches actually gave me an ultimatum, like you can either do fine arts or you can do sports, right? And that happens, I feel like, unfortunately, for some people,
I kind of had to do that. I had to quit basketball to do the musical, which I was fine with because again, like what you talk about with accepting, like. I was not, there's one group I was obviously ended up being accepted with, and the other one I just kind of didn't fit in. And you know what? I was happier in the end, Not that I was that good at basketball.
Hey, but you never know, right? I
liked it.
You could have made a professional career out of that, but you had to choose the other one.
At 5'10", yep.
You should still try, Lucas. You should still try. You should.
I'll go to tryouts this year.
There you go. You should. You're never too young. You're never too old. But yeah, I mainly was just orchestra, string ensembles. I was in a musical my senior year in high school, which was more just a really like spontaneous thing. My last year, I wanted to go out with like trying as much fun and different things that I
go out
could
with a bang.
have. So I was in a musical called Bye Bye Birdie. If you guys are familiar with Bye Bye Birdie,
a classic,
and it was a blast. And so, but yeah, mainly just the fine arts extension was just orchestra.
Nice. Well, that's amazing. I mean, and it's led you now to your newest single just released, Upside Down. when I first listened to it and it started with the cello, I was blown away because I love the cello. It might be probably my favorite instrument, and I don't play it.
Let's
So like
go.
it's just incredible. It's always so gorgeous, no matter what genre it is you're playing or whatever you're using the instrument in. It's always gorgeous. Like how did you think to put it into this style of song? Because it's kind of like an R&B style song, right? Like mild R&B. And what happened there?
Yes, I've had this aspiration to want to be able to sing and play cello at the same time.
Okay.
I think I actually remember the first time I tried that, and it was my freshman year in college,
Okay.
and I tried it at a talent show. We had the
Whoa.
student athlete talent show.
Nice.
The performance actually was really, really bad, but it was one of those things that confirmed, like, oh man, I really need to try this. But I really didn't try to build that skill until literally as of late, which is funny.
Okay.
So it was one of those things of like just an idea that was just hanging around of like,
Right.
oh, I know I probably could do this. I just never committed to
Yeah.
making it an actual developed skill. And then there's one cellist, incredible artist out there by the name of Ben Lee, who is a folk cellist
Okay.
and a folk singer, and he has
Wow.
incredible music to where he was the first musician artist that I saw that was doing that on a professional level. And I was like,
Wow.
oh wow, yeah, that's definitely possible, and it's beautiful. And so
Yeah.
again, right, I never committed to doing that. And then again, this was in the season right after I got off of filming the Bachelor show, and I had my cello. I was up in Austin at my sister's place, and I just had a couple of weeks, and I was just hanging, just like, okay, let me get in the music mindset.
Yeah.
And I had my cello with me, and I was like, all right, let's give this a shot. And I found a couple chords that I could play, and I was just popping around on my cello. And literally, it's one of those things when you're songwriting, you kind of just flow with whatever melody comes to mind, and that just came out like in terms of the da 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 da, like
Yeah.
that idea, that melody was just it was super just it just happens, right? You can't.
Yeah, that's the best. I think that's
Which
when
is
you
so
know.
cool.
That's when you know you have a good song is when it just happens.
It just happens, yeah. And so I wrote like the chorus pretty quickly, and the rest of the lyrics came over time. I think I remember I wrote a verse. I wrote the outro, which is like, I'm flipped upside down, but I'm coming back around. I wrote that, and the hook in the first verse, like in a pretty fast time frame. And for a while, I didn't have a second verse, and then the arrangement changed over time. So I had most of the song done for over a year, and I played it very randomly. I remember I recorded an Instagram video of me playing it once, like it was maybe middle peak of the pandemic, and I remember posting it, and I got some good feedback on it, but I never really I knew I was going to put it out eventually, but didn't know when. And so I was like, okay, let's make it happen. And so it was in the queue to release eventually.
Nice.
And I'm happy it's out because it's been, now I'm in Nashville, and I'll share this if you have another question after this, but I'm in the process of making cello my main instrument of writing and performing and everything as an artist. And so mainly I write and perform on acoustic, on guitar, being out here. But I'm much better at cello. And so it'd be it's just like, it'd be foolish if I didn't make it a full-time focus. It's super unique, and merging it with like soul R&B stuff is even more unique too. So that's my goal of like making my artistry in that really specific niche of like soul R&B, even some lo-fi R&B stuff with some of these other songs I'm coming out with coming up with cello, if not almost on every track, a semblance of cello in most or almost all of them.
That's amazing.
And it was kind of just one of those things of, it's just kind of the progress of learning my musical style and getting some great feedback from people, and like, all right, let's give this a go.
That's amazing. What's the so we should be looking forward to songs similar to this one in the future? Would you say that they're in the same genre?
I would say they are in the same genre. I would classify this a little more like maybe like classic soul pop kind of vibe.
Ooh.
I think the songs that I'm going to come out with are going to be a little more on like the R&B lo-fi, like if you listen like Daniel Caesar, that pocket in my mind, a little like, I don't know, a little more, I guess ominous, like cloudy, dark in a sense. Not dark.
Ambient.
Yeah, a little more ambient. And so this is, and it'll range based on what songs that come out. But I've written a lot of songs on guitar mainly, and what I'm doing now is retrofitting them to be performed on cello and singing, which is really a fun adventure. And so
that's so cool.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting. And it's been a fun thing so far. Yeah.
I'm excited. I saw you posted a video of you, I think you covered My Girl, and you like, transcribed it to cello. It was really good. And I thought that was super interesting because then I listened to your song Mother and I'm like, some of those chord changes are kind of like, I'm like, you're definitely pulling from some of those old songs and it works so good. Dude, I'm fanboying a little bit. I love your melodies. Like
they're absolutely
I'm a very big fan of Upside Down. I'm really excited for you to do more stuff with the cello. It works. It works really well.
It really does. Like I think because it's so unique.
Sorry for
like you said earlier.
Fire. We live by a busy street, so you hear everything.
Oh, that's totally fine.
But yeah, I feel like it's so unique. The cello itself is so unique.
Yeah.
And I find it's rare to find it in popular music. But so yeah, I think you should just keep doing it because I love it. Absolutely incredible.
Is that the dream? Is that like your big goal? Like what is the ideal outcome? Because I know you've done everything. Are you fully committed at this point?
I'm fully committed to this, and I don't know. I haven't given myself a timeline because I've other career aspirations or just life bucket list stuff that I had been really focused on prior to shifting out here, which I still plan on pursuing. But I have no timeline for how long I really want to make this music thing a thing.
Okay.
So I'm like pouring myself into it, and I love it. And so my goal is to just put out, make this my thing, be known, very okay with being known as the R&B cellist singer guy, whatever that is. And then just put out good music that I feel really great about, like, and get really good at songwriting and really good at performing, just really pro at all this, and start touring and playing shows, and as things are opening up now, it's even more exciting of a prospect, and I feel like I can really do it.
Are you getting a lot of gigs right now, like a lot of different shows that you're playing?
I really am, and it's been a huge blessing. The cool thing about playing out here in Nashville has been I play a lot of like writers rounds. If you heard of that concept of writers rounds, you guys are. Lucas, are you in Nashville as well?
I'm New York.
You're in New York. Okay.
Yep.
Right. So but that's the bread and butter for a lot of performances, for a lot of performing opportunities here, or writers rounds, and other stuff too, of course. But I've been playing a lot of that, which is a great, not just performance, but networking kind of environments. And
can you go over real quick, just for people who don't know, what is a writers round?
A writers round is a type of performance, more or less, a type of show in which you'll have multiple songwriters on the stage, typically 2 to up to, I've never seen more than 5. It could be up 5 or 6, or but basically you take turns singing your original songs. So you perform in a round. You take turns and you share your stories, and it's very, very personable and intentional to listen to the songwriters. The at least the best environments for writers rounds are. And so that is like the Nashville thing. I don't think you'd be able to find that immense of show culture in any other city in the world outside of Nashville.
This is the only place that I've ever seen that happen. Like, I know it doesn't happen in New York City, and I'm almost positive it doesn't happen in LA. So
it's too bad.
Amazing.
I hope it really ought to be more of an opportunity for artists, because it's so special, and obviously playing shows in Nashville is different than playing shows in most other cities, because you play a lot of free shows, or you play just for tips. And so I've played almost close to 70 shows since being out here in July, which is crazy.
Wow. That's amazing.
And a lot of it's been a combination of writers rounds and then solo shows or different things. And so again, my goal is I've just been, again, anything that you want to get good at is all about consistency and really getting in the reps,
Of course.
and so that's been my intentionality with, like, hey, I just want to get really good at singing, find my voice, get good at performing, being confident, singing into a microphone, all these things that you need to do well as a performer, and it just has everything to do with as many times you do it. And just going into that. So yeah, my goal, I love to, I have a pray and manifest list of things, of shows and people I want to collaborate with.
Nice.
And, for instance, like Leon, I love to tour, open for like Leon Bridges and people like that is on my list to do that. And yeah. So I really feel good about that being able to happen, Lord willing, as long as.
Well, it's funny that you said that you want to work on your voice, and I was just about to say, like, your voice when you're singing, like, if it's not the cello that people are focusing on, your voice is incredible. So like, thanks. And yeah, I feel like obviously nobody listens to their voice and is like, man, like that's perfect, but I mean, your voice is incredible. I was going to ask if you have ever had like training or anything in singing.
Nothing very prolonged, like consistent training. I've had a couple of good friends, and my brother went to school for music and as a vocal kind of focus major. And so he would give me lessons through the years. And out here, I think I might I've had a good friend just give me some kind of one-off or a couple vocal lessons to where I have some good warm-up skills skills just to work on my breathing, all these things. But and again, I feel like it's working on getting better as a singer has a lot to do with technique, of course, but I think just singing a lot. As simple as it is.
Yeah, the more you do something, usually the better
you get stronger at it. And but honestly, I really should get a consistent vocal teacher. It's just
I'll tell you what, Gabe, I am not even close to where you're at, and I'm super impressed that you got where you are. I just started taking lessons, and she was like, awesome. You aren't breathing. You are not breathing. You have to breathe in order to sing. That's important.
Right.
You need
Spoiler
to breathe.
Alert.
I'm right, but breathing, what are you talking about? I feel fine.
Right, but it's funny
so because you'd be surprised that.
No, I completely agree, because I think you can sing and really suppress your capabilities based on how well are you breathing while you're singing. So you're spot on with that, because that's the first thing you learn as a singer, like growing as a singer. It's like, how are you breathing? Are you breathing from your chest or are you breathing from your diaphragm?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so expanding your diaphragm, like you feel it in your stomach when you do that, like your stomach areas, is fundamental to being a good singer and being a healthy singer.
Yeah.
And so that's been something I'm really trying to focus on too.
That's amazing. And the world got a little piece of your voice in Listen to Your Heart, the Bachelor show.
Just a little
piece.
Did I even sing on the show?
Just a tiny bit.
A tiny bit.
Like very briefly.
Very rarely.
But I want to start talking about the Bachelor and like you being on this show. How did you get on the show, by the way? What was that process?
What is that process?
My process, as well as I believe almost everyone on our season, we got reached out to by a producer.
Wow.
I think big. Because it was, I may be wrong. I may be not correct for everyone's situation, because you could apply for the show. But I think maybe their casting approach for this show specifically was in a different way. But again, I got reached out to, I had a profile on the casting call website, and that I actually had set up from another competition show I was on years back. And I had some singing stuff, but not a lot, enough, for that producer to reach out to me. And I just literally got a message in my inbox. I'm like, hey, we have this, I'm a producer with ABC, and we have this show, a singing show, a dating show for musicians.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that sounds weird. The last kind of show I ever envisioned myself.
That would have been my exact reaction too. Like, oh, this is strange, but
this is strange.
Do I need this?
But the philosophy I really try to hold on to is like, okay, whatever the opportunity is, I try not to completely shut it down unless I do some form of investigating to see if it's for me or not. And so that's where I was at. I was like, let me just hear it out, complete some more information about the show from myself for the application, and there you go. Quickly made it through the casting process, and I got on it. And awesome. There was definitely some more details to that process of deciding if it was something for me, because anything related to like a dating show or Bachelor thing is very unique and very intimidating and kind of very uncomfortable in that idea. And at
You're
least for
putting
most
yourself
people,
out.
it is.
I don't know if I could do it.
I know I couldn't. Like 100%.
I think I
couldn't
could.
do it.
Yeah.
I would have to make myself into some sort of character in order to like justify it for my. But I have a lot of respect for being able to put yourself out there like that.
Yeah.
It's very cool. But you also like, I'm sure that was a good networking opportunity. I know you afterwards you went away and you and Ruby from the show were able to do some sort of collaboration, which is awesome.
Yeah.
That's totally a positive.
No, you're absolutely right. When a part of the convincing thing for me to take on these very random adventures is knowing that opportunities lead to opportunities. Like that
Right.
principle holds true. And I was like, okay, regardless of what happens in this experience, I know there's going to be some very redeemable things. And one of them being that I'm going to meet some very unique people that I would never be able to meet in any other context. And, and so going into it, a big part of my goal and my prayer was like, hey, I just want to build great relationships, whatever that means. And I'm in a good relational place with everyone on the show, which is incredible, which is awesome.
Good. That's great.
And yeah, as you mentioned, me and Ruby, I'm close. Yeah, I'm close to everyone that I'm close to. Some more than others in terms of just regular communication and whatnot. But yeah, me and Ruby, we're good. We're really good friends, and we've done a lot of collaborating, written some songs together. And so yeah, it's one of those things to where you just, it's a unique place to be in with all these people, and everyone is really sweet and sincere, really. And so it's been good taking advantage and seeing where these relationships can go in that kind of way.
Yeah. How, like, when you left the show, was it in the contract for the show that you were just allowed to leave whenever you wanted to, or how did that because
Right.
I'm just very interested on like some of the behind the scenes stuff about how you were able to, do that.
Yeah. The thing about going into a show like that, a part of the conversations you have, and even within the contract you sign, is that, you basically they can't control anything you do on the show. You're in a space to where it is highly influential, and it's very, a very unique experience to where the emotions that are created from such a kind of high pressure environment can make you do different things that you very likely wouldn't do in a normal life setting. And so it is one of those things to where, you go in with you, and you have the ability to navigate it however you choose, right? And so that was the security I had going through. I was okay, I know I feel very secure in myself and my emotions, and the way I approach things, and I feel good about me being able to navigate such a unique space. And so I left on my own volition, and that, there's a lot of other details. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
There are other details, maybe more undisclosed details that comes down that that determine whether or not like I could have left the show at the time or not. And I don't know the details to that. There's like different production things that can influence that. But for me, it was just in that situation of like, it was just one of those things like, I don't feel, this is how I feel. Yeah. And this is the result of how I feel. And I felt good about that, and I wasn't going to shake from it. And they were grateful that, they didn't push back against how I felt and wanted to do, so just one of those things.
I feel like I'm realizing just about you as a person, you are not afraid to just continually put yourself out there. Continually. Sorry, I just mispronounced that again.
Aaron makes up a lot of words.
I love to make up words. I always misspeak. But yeah, you're someone who constantly is putting yourself out there. And I just think that, is that someone you've always been? Have you always been someone who just doesn't really think about, other things besides, just putting yourself out there?
Because you have this wonderful confidence to you. I love it.
Thanks.
You got this vibe going on. I'm into it.
Because there is bad confidence, but yours is not at all. Like yours
it's wholesome,
okay.
for sure.
Yeah. No,
I hope someone would correct me if it's a bad confidence.
No, not at all.
It's like anything. It's been a journey. It's been a process of developing in my own character and my own my self-awareness of like, okay, this is me. This is my personality. This is what it means to be a good communicator. This is like the impact I can have with my words, with my presence, with all the, you know what I'm saying? And so you'd be surprised perhaps, but like I was so shy. Most like middle school. I mean, I wasn't around
Wow.
your friends. Around your friends, you know, you're expressive, you're having fun. But like, I'll share this one funny anecdote. Like when I was in middle school, I think it was like sixth grade or seventh grade. This stands out to me so specifically, and this is a picture of a bit of my personality when it came to like relationships and just people I didn't know, especially when I was young.
Yeah.
But I remember we were like in the locker room in middle school, and it was a situation in which I don't even know the specifics, but all I do remember is that we were getting ready to leave or whatever, and some guy, I don't remember who he was, but I remember I was talking to someone just kind of randomly, and then there was a guy in that vicinity, and he heard me talking, and he's like, "Oh wow, Gabe, you're talking. I thought you were mute." Like that's what his response was.
Oh my
As
God.
strange as that,
Man.
Wow.
and to me, that it's stuck in my brain, my
Yeah, I
mind,
bet.
so
Yeah.
specifically since then, just about that encounter of like, oh wow, yeah, I was really quiet. Like I wasn't one to go out of my way and start, you know, just initiate conversations with people, but like I was very kind and very sweet.
Yeah.
But I just, you know, kept to myself, and I was a sincere little kid. But and it was just over time as I got through high school and definitely when I got to college, I continued just to grow into myself and to
Good.
that level of confidence just comes over time. And I think as I've grown in my spiritual maturity and my relational maturity, emotional things, like it just elevates you to knowing how, again, how to organize your emotions and your thoughts and try to present them
Yeah.
in such a way that's consistent to who you are. And that's kind of been my journey. I've definitely have not always been like this. Like like if you met me before the show and then you knew me and then you know me now, you'd see a huge difference
Yeah.
me, which is cool. Like
Wow. Do you think that's
I've just
because of the
grown so
show
much.
or just in general?
Yes, and yes.
Yes, and
Short
okay.
answer, yes. Is it because of that? Because of this? Yes.
That's a good improviser.
Yeah, no, it's funny because there was so much in this season, and you know, I don't if you saw my mom passed away in 2019 from cancer, and right at the same time, my
Right.
brother, in the time that she was journeying through her illness, my brother he had moved down from the Dallas area to Houston, where my parents had moved out from San Antonio to, and so we were all living together. Awesome time, but he had been battling his mental health, and so that was a really very interesting time to try to navigate and help him get him the right support. And but right when around her time of passing, he packed up and had just left unannounced, and so he's been actually out of touch since then. So over a year and a half, and so
Okay.
it's been a weird experience. So like when I say a lot of my growth in this year and a half or so, couple years has a lot to do with just going through life and experiencing these visceral experiences
Yeah.
through grief and loss, and then the random uncomfortable space of a reality dating show
Yeah.
that
I
has
can't even
pulled
imagine.
out. I know it's so weird, but it's this incredible thing of like it says pulled out so much of myself that I was keeping inside of me, that was keeping me from growing into a, a more healthy emotional person, a more honest person. And so
That's awesome.
yeah, the person of me today is really just continuing to lead in a place of honesty and humility. And not that I hadn't done that prior before, but it's just a different season of me, which is super exciting, and I feel so different.
I love
and
that. Different
really
season
cool.
of me.
A
That
new
is the
era,
greatest
yeah.
thing I've ever
A
heard
different
anyone say.
season of
That's
me.
amazing.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, that's a lyric right
I'm
there.
gonna use
That
that.
really is a
I
lyric.
can't wait for the next season.
I
of me to
appreciate you
start.
pointing that
That's
out.
amazing.
I'll have to jot that down after this interview.
You
Different
should.
season
That's a
of
good
me.
quote. I mean,
really should.
I think that's just
I'll
you.
take it.
That's original
Thanks.
quote. That's amazing.
But it's funny how life does that. Like
It's life,
you will
man.
be in a weird, awkward situation, and you can say sink or swim, but generally people swim and like come out just the better.
Yeah.
Or like different, but you grow and learn from experiences like that. I think that's awesome.
Do you
know?
think that it would
Thanks.
be possible in your future to do a Bachelor style show again, or do you feel like that was just a you did it, had a great experience, and then now we're on to music specifically.
Yeah, it would a pretty strong no. That would happen again. And it's not
Fair
because
enough. Fair enough.
It is not because I'm not grateful for the experience or like I wasn't supposed to be there at the time, but I really can't see that kind of environment having something for me to offer, having something to offer me. And sorry, I'm like moving around. I realized like my laptop and my phone are both dying simultaneously at a quick rate. So I'm like, okay, how do I plug this in?
No, it's totally fine, man.
But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. Of like, yeah, there would have to be something really, really convincing. To show me that, oh yeah, this is where you need to go next, or you need to go on this. And I try not to do things just because of like the notoriety that you get from it or whatever it is. Like
if somebody was like, pick the charity of your choice and we'll give them the $500 million.
Right.
You'd have to be like,
I would definitely do that.
Well, yeah, now I have
if the price is right.
Yeah,
You gotta pay me.
Everyone has a price.
Oh, dude, that's so funny. I guess I do have a price.
Everyone's got a price, right?
Well, that's
but
true. Once you throw in charity, it's like, oh well, now
I can't say no.
I can't say no. Right? You'd look like a dummy not doing it. But yeah, it would definitely be. It's definitely one of those things of it had to be something very convincing that I feel like would really add value to my life. Yeah. And that's usually how I make decisions for the most part. It's like, how is this adding value to where I am and where I aspire to go and where I feel called to go, you know? And
that's super smart.
At the time, as strange as it sounds, the Listen to Your Heart experience seemed like a unique enough opportunity that would add potential value to my life.
Yeah.
Did
it really influence
really
your music a lot? Like, has it been a huge like I guess key point in your music?
Yeah. It really has, surprisingly. And not that I'm, singing about dating shows.
Singing about
but it has had an impact on my music as a result of the things I learned from the experience in terms of just like I tell people like just the emotional outpouring that happened as a result of going in a new uncomfortable space has really, really had an incredible impact on me. Yeah. Wow. Really, really cool.
That's amazing.
It's weird. I would not have guessed it. Seriously.
No one says,
like,
I'm going to be on a dating show and I'm going to love, and it's going to work for me.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to grow in my emotional competency from going to a dating show. It's crazy.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, now, the show's over. You're working on so many different projects. Like we had talked about your new single, Upside Down. You have a music video coming out. Can you tell us a little bit about what we should be looking for that? When is it coming out? Like, what's the deal with that?
Yeah. And so next Friday, I guess, not sure when this podcast is coming out, but
it'll be out on Monday.
Be out on Monday. Okay. Yeah. So in a couple days, upon this release of this episode,
yes.
About Friday, May 14th, releasing the music video. Got it for Upside Down. Shot it a couple weeks ago. I shot it maybe right around actually the release of the single.
Okay.
And so I've kind of just been planning out when to release it. I think it should be a Vivo premiere.
Oh, wow.
Premiering on Vivo, which is pretty cool.
Awesome. And, that's so cool.
We'll find, I believe it is. If it's not, forgive me, but no, it is.
It's fine. We'll put the little sticker. We'll put the Vivo sticker on it.
Yeah, we'll just edit the sticker in post. Yeah. No, but it's a Vivo premiere, and it's just kind of a very. I'm the only person in the music video.
Wow.
But it shot it here in Nashville with a great videographer named James McKettrick, and he had a cool vision for how it could look based on the song, and so it's just like a fun. It's a music video that reflects the message and the energy of the song, as all music videos ought to, of course.
Yeah.
But we shot it in multiple locations around Nashville, and it just turned out pretty cool. And so, look out for just kind of a good illustrative visual.
Yeah.
Illustrative visual of the song.
Man.
And that's the most general description of a music video.
Yeah. That is what a music video is.
You were like, let me just read the definition of a music video real quick.
I did. So what is a music video? An illustrative expression of the song.
Yeah. It's like me when I'm like writing an essay. I'm like, I need more words. You know what I'm talking about?
And you could probably hear how I talk sometimes. I write a lot. And so, I'm used to filling in stuff.
Yeah.
Good.
Low key, but yeah. So that was a very politically correct answer. For what's in my music video?
Well,
but
either way,
it's a fun.
I'm excited.
Yeah, man, I'm so excited.
Yeah,
like I said before, and Lucas said the same thing. Upside Down is an absolutely incredible song. Keep putting out some great content, man, and we're very excited for the new songs to come. Thank you so much for coming on. You're such a multifaceted guy. You got so many things going on. You're killing it in every single area, every avenue you're going down is just going to be incredible. So thank you again for coming on, and we wish you the best of luck. Hopefully we'll have you on again when you have some singles coming out, and we'll promote. And yeah, it's been great talking to you.
Thank you so much, Gabe.
Would love it. Yeah, thank you both. Aaron, hope to see you around again.
Yeah, I'm here.
Lucas, hope to meet you soon in person as well.
Yeah, it was great meeting you now.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Of course.
All right, well, we'll talk to you later, man.
See ya.